The following is a presentation of the Arizona Cardinals Broadcast Network.
Run it, run it, run it. Let's go. Get out, let's go. Here we go, work at it. Work your technique, do little things right. That's it, all right, roll it.
This is Cardinals Game Plan, presented by Dignity Health. Your hosts, Paul Calvisi and Ron Wolfley, with the head coach, Kliff Kingsbury.
That's a hell of a win, fellas. Listen, nobody outside of this locker room gave you a chance, right? You practiced your ass off, fought your ass off. We talked about it 3 months ago when they played us. It's a different beast today. All right, that's a hell of a job, all three phases, fighting your ass off, clean football, tough football the entire day. All right, because of that, everybody gets a game ball. All right?
Well, that's all you need to see right there. Football is fun. That was a fun locker room when you win. We welcome in the head coach, Kliff Kingsbury. And you know what else is great about going to Seattle? For all the noise, Wolf, the best sound is the silence at the very end when the visiting team gets a victory.
Oh, the sound of silence.
except we don't want any Simon and Garfunkel references around here. No, it's football. Coach, congratulations on the win. To you, what was the best part about that victory in Seattle?
Yeah, I think probably the locker room after, just seeing those guys. We talked about, hey, nobody outside of this building thinks we can get this done, and let's cut it loose and go after them. And the guys did. They played hard the entire game, executed at a high level, overcame some adversity, and found a way to get it done.
Coach, you gave out game balls to everybody, right?
Yeah, I did. I just think it was a complete team effort. All three phases rose up, and it took everybody to get it done.
And there's no doubt the team responded right from the get-go, right? Because Seattle goes down the field, 89 yards, takes a 7-0 lead. And then, let's go to the video here, because the Kenyon Drake 80-yard touchdown run, you tell us how it materialized, because it definitely changed the game.
Yeah, it was a great scheme that Coach Kugler, Coach Hyden, Coach Sachs came up with. And they blitzed it, so it just hit perfectly. Hit it away from the blitz. Well blocked, you can see he's not touched. And then, you know, he's an explosive player and does the rest with his speed. Looked like he got a little tired there at the end, but he was not going to be denied. And then he does the appropriate celebration, kind of insinuating he's going to make a lot of money this season. So he's a lot of fun to be around. Very competitive, you know, has lots of juice and a tough player.
No doubt about it, Coach. This guy has really changed the offense just a little bit here, but you went 3 and out on the first possession. Did you do anything differently from that point forward, or did you just follow the script?
No, we just stayed in the script. Had what we wanted. You know, the ball got knocked down on that third down play, but Kyler was going to the right place, and sometimes that happens.
All right, so how about the Larry touchdown? Speaking of Kyler, and afterwards Larry described it as 1 minute he's blocking, the next minute he's the intended receiver, and he had to sort of volleyball it, in Larry's words.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. And just the finish, you know, KJ Wright's waiting for him at the 5-yard line. He lowers his shoulder and takes on the biggest guy on the field and finds a way to get in the end zone. I think that really set the tone for us as a team. Hey, we're going after these guys.
How often do you guys work on the scramble drill, Coach? If
yeah,
at all?
We have a period every Friday, which we make sure we hit it and work, hey, who's going where and how we're going to finish at the top of routes.
All right, so the first half's winding down, and Seattle ekes out a first down, but wait a minute. You challenge the spot, and you got to win. Vance Joseph was right there. He was emphatic. He was adamant that was not a first down.
Yeah, we had a bunch of guys yelling, challenge it, and it looked like it to me when they replayed it that he was short. You never know how those things are going to work out, but luckily it was a big call in the game.
So, Coach, you didn't actually get confirmation from above? You were trusting your eyes?
I did get confirmation, but in that situation, there's a lot of voices trying to confirm, so you got to kind of decipher which ones really know.
All right, so Larry lamented that they took another touchdown catch away from him. That was. What'd you think about that call, and how close was that in your mind?
I thought he had it. I mean, when Larry comes back to the sideline of all people and says, I caught that ball, you tend to trust him, and I know the ground came into play a bit, but it looked like he secured it, but it was a tough call and didn't go our way.
All right, so the defense keeps rolling second half. Chandler Jones forces the fumble. Jordan Hicks the recovery. What was the key to the defense after that opening drive by Seattle where there were like 4 or 5 chunk plays on that touchdown drive?
Yeah, just resilience. Vance made some great adjustments and got those guys on the same page, but really the guys were just flying around playing hard the entire game, and after that first drive really limited them almost every possession moving forward.
So the defense forced 4 straight 3-and-outs. This is against the number 3 rushing team in the NFL. Russell Wilson had the second worst QBR of his career. What was the key against Russell in this game?
Just constant pressure. I mean, we harassed him the entire game. He never felt comfortable. You'd see him in the pocket looking at the rush, and it was self-preservation at times because there was so much pressure in his face, and that's how he's one of the best players in the game, and that's how you have to try and get to him.
Coach, after that first possession where they did go right down the field and score a touchdown, what adjustments were made by Vance?
Yeah, I mean, we shored up the run game first and foremost, and then started getting pressure. There were some guys running wide open. They popped some runs early. They tightened those things up, and the rest of the game, it was kind of tough sledding for them.
So Kyler gets injured, then you had the blocked field goal, and you could feel the momentum shift, and it got really loud in that stadium. How proud are you that the team, and especially the defense, and then Brett Hundley, all responded?
It was huge. That stand right there by the defense to hold him to a field goal was incredible. You're right. Had a couple tough drops. They blocked the field goal. Looks like things aren't going our way. Brett comes in and he runs around and kind of wills us to win, just making plays. And the guys were fired up for him. He's a guy who prepares to be the starter each and every week, and it was fun to see him take advantage of his opportunity.
You saw Brett Hundley lead that touchdown drive. At the end of the touchdown drive, by the way, the sideline went nuts because he turned and took a bow as Kenyon Drake ended up in the end zone. That was great. Not only the big pass to Max Williams, couple of drops, but the running ability of Brett Hundley, and did not go out of bounds. That was impressive.
That was big time. The play, they covered the route, and he stepped up and made a play with his feet and really stayed in bounds, kept the clock running, and gave us a chance to win the game.
You singled him out as well after, right? You handed out game balls to everybody. There were two guys you singled out, and he was one of them.
Yeah, he's a guy who he prepares like the starter. He puts in the work, the preparation. He's a great team guy. Having been, a backup quarterback, I know how tough of a spot that is on the road in the cold to step in and operate like he did, and was just really proud of that effort.
Next, Coach Kingsbury breaks down the defining moments in the victory over Seattle and looks ahead to the Los Angeles Rams on Cardinals Game Plan. Cardinals Game Plan is brought to you by Dignity Health, hello human kindness, and by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM.
The one thing about the Seattle crowd is they fire up the Seahawks, but they also fire up the opponent. And I know the Cardinals bench was thriving off all the hecklers behind the bench, nobody more so than Chandler Jones. And this might take a moment to read his line. 6 tackles, 4 sacks, 6 quarterback hits, 2 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles. You tell us about his performance, 55.
Yeah, he was possessed out there. I mean, he felt like he could have a big game, and he really harassed him the entire game and helped us win that game.
There are 3 players that actually have had 4 sacks in 2 games in a season, right? 3 players in NFL history: Reggie White, Carl Mecklenburg, and Chandler Jones. Do you remember Carl Mecklenburg, first of all?
I had one of his football cards, yeah. And those are 2 of the most dominant D linemen to ever play the game. And so to be in that company, Hall of Famers, that's something special.
The other guy whose name got called a lot by Passion Wolf on the radio side, Budda Baker.
Wow.
He was flying all over, and we know it was a homecoming for him.
He was. He looked like a heat-seeking missile. He was all over the place, and when he got there with bad intentions and played a heck of a game. I know it meant a lot coming back to that area to play, and boy, he showed up.
Coach, where has he improved the most from the beginning of the season till now?
Just the understanding of the system, the knowledge of the system. You can tell he's getting things directed back there quicker, and he's really become a leader in this defense.
Underrated to me was the play of the corners. If you look at Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf had 1 catch combined, and you put Pat P on DK Metcalf, for example.
We did. We felt like Pat could match that speed, height, size there, and then those other guys matching up on Lockett, who's a tremendous receiver and is going to have over 1,000 yards this year, really held their own.
Talk about the offensive line collectively, Coach. Was this their best game?
I believe it was. Overall. I think we only had 4 negative plays, 1 sack, which was, Brett's really first pass attempt, and it was kind of cold. But just consistently, their execution, going to the right guys, and playing with physicality, it was probably their best work.
There's a stat. In the Cardinals' 5 wins this year, they're averaging over 200 yards rushing. Is that the identity of this team at this point?
You'd like it to be. If you're doing that, you're going to win a bunch of games. And as we're kind of developing our passing game and getting comfortable with some of those concepts, I think being able to lean on that run and move the football that way is a big part of what we can be.
Coach, you dressed 4 tight ends for the game. You know where I'm going with that. I was shocked to see that. Is that just evidence of the evolution of this offense?
Yeah, we want to do what we think we can do best. We're going to try and maximize our personnel, and that's kind of how it's evolved, and so that's what we're doing.
All right, so the Rams now just eliminated from the playoff race. We know before this Seattle game you had mentioned you didn't like the game film and you thought there were missed opportunities week 4. How much would you like to avenge the bitter taste you had in your mouth from the first loss to the Rams?
I don't think any of us, coaches or players, have slept well since that one. I mean, they put it to us, outcoached us, outplayed us in every way, and they're a tremendous team. We knew coming in we'd get their best shot after they had a tough loss, but we never matched their intensity, and it was an ugly day for the Cardinals. And so to have a chance to play them again and try to play a lot better and show how far we've come, it's a great opportunity for us, and we're going to have to play our best. They're going to be at their best, you know. After not making the playoffs, they'll be on edge once again, so we're going to have to bring it.
Coach, what would it mean to you personally to actually finish this season on a 3-game win streak?
It'd be great just to show our team and this organization about the process and the hard work paying off. They've persevered. Effort's been tremendous. Guys have practiced hard all year. So to have that payoff at the end of it would be a great stepping stone.
Does it help you get more buy-in as a coaching staff? Does it help younger players get confidence? I don't know about momentum, but some of those other things? It
does. When you can point to, hey, you know, you did this right, you did that right, you did what we told you to do, and it paid off. I think anytime you're a coach and you can point to having success, it definitely helps.
Of course, the Rams are wondering, all right, what's the status of Kyler Murray? What do we know about the hamstring injury?
It'll be a game-time decision. Yeah, we want to make sure he's 100% if we put him out there, and so we'll see how he feels on Sunday.
More with Coach Kingsbury later. Up next, Buda Baker was mic'd up and on a mission.
No!
Hear it all on Cardinals Game Plan. Welcome back to Cardinals Game Plan. Safety Buda Baker was fired up to wear the mic in his hometown on Sunday. Hear what he had to say in the win over the Seahawks. Wired, brought to you by your Arizona Ford dealers.
We back home, baby.
Cardinal road game at Seattle in December. It's always cold and cloudy. The lights are on for a day game, and the loudest outdoor stadium in the NFL is ready to rock.
Because I'm on the West Coast. I'm back home. I'm about to play amazing. Let's go. Earmuffs. Let's go! Yes! Let's go! Let's go!
Santa's got nothing on Buda, who's from here, used to train with the Legion of Boom in college, and he's mic'd up.
First down on the Seattle 21. 2 minutes into the first quarter, no score. Buda Baker makes a nice backside tackle. He's going to the Pro Bowl as a safety. He's been to the Pro Bowl as a special teamer. It's a loss of about 3 at the 18-yard line.
Keep going. Let's go.
Oh my goodness, Buda Baker.
What you got? Lefty, lefty.
Got a crease at the 40, up to the 45, and slam down there.
No! No! What y'all thought this was? They better start accounting for me. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. I got it.
Game tied at 7, 11:55 to go second quarter. Buda Baker comes down into the box. Snap to Wilson. And a flag down. I think it's a dead ball foul. Yep, movement by Seattle.
False start. Offense.
They scared. They scared of me blitzing, man. Hey, tell them stop jumping off sides. Ref, see that football? That's a bad spot. That's a terrible spot. Ref, the ball hit right there. I'm just joking. Nah, I got you.
Dumps it off at the left second. A catch made by Fitz. The 15 runs left to the 10 to the 5. Dives to the end zone. Touchdown to give the Cardinals the lead.
Let's go! Let's go, Larry! You saw that catch?
Seahawks run the ball off the right side, and a big hit by Buda Baker at the 26-yard line. The Cardinals have been much more physical than Seattle.
Crush that dude.
Oh, man. Full speed.
It was crazy. Boy, how'd you do that?
No fear. No fear. I ain't scared of nobody.
Buda Baker has had an incredible game here today.
Shotgun snap to Wilson. Dumps it off near side. Caught by Homer at the 30. He gets tattooed at the 32 by Baker. Wilson takes, turns, gives it. Left side. Jordan Hicks with a great play. The fans here in Seattle are booing right now.
I'm hurting, but I'm gonna get through it. I'm gonna get through it.
3rd and 22 on the 35. Wilson back to throw with his team down 2 touchdowns. Throws a deep ball, middle of the field for Lockett, and there's contact. Incomplete, no flag. And the Cardinals may have just put the Seahawks away.
Hey, let's go! Let's go!
Oh my goodness, who'd have thought it right now? They're gonna walk out of here
Let's go!
beating a team that had the chance to be the #1 seed.
The Arizona Cardinals knock off the Seahawks
Hey!
in Seattle,
Bye-bye.
27-13 to get their 5th win of the season.
Hey, bye-bye!
Bro, you're the best safety in the league. I hope you know that. Unbelievable, man.
Thank you, bro.
Incredible, man.
Hey, you're going to be doing it next year.
Coming up, Paul and Wolf do a deep dive into the evolution and growth of the Cardinals offense on Cardinals Game Plan. Welcome back to Cardinals Game Plan. Now, Paul and Wolf put the spotlight on the opponent and what Cardinals fans can expect in the near future. Presented by Phillips Law Group.
Well, safe to say, Seattle never saw it coming. That Seahawks offense went 1 for 12 on 3rd down. The Cardinals offense ran for 253 yards. The Cardinals win in Seattle. I think we're all wondering, 2 straight wins. Can the Cardinals make it 3? Where is this all going into next season?
Boy, that is a great question right there, Paulie. Can you imagine, though, if they can actually win their last 3 games, beating L.A., in L.A., beating the Seattle Seahawks up at CenturyLink right now? They have played so much better. If they could double their win total, get to 6 wins, Paulie, with Kyler Murray and finishing the season the way that they are, I really think from an analyst perspective that they're going to be the talk, the analytical talk, so to speak, of the NFL going into the offseason if they can beat the Rams.
Remember a few years ago when the Niners lost their first 9 and then they won their last 5?
Yes.
And then they were the darlings?
Yes.
It reminds me of that with Jimmy G, and he found his footing. He still hadn't had that much experience. And we were trying to tell the Seattle fans that they have the base model Russell Wilson. The Cardinals have the twin turbo version and Kyler Murray. And what the Cardinals just did to the Seahawks, Russell Wilson has been doing to the Cardinals and the rest of the division for 8 years.
Absolutely, Paulie. But I think back to what you just said right there. The San Francisco 49ers, they were the darlings, and then they kind of, right? And then the Cleveland Browns. Think about the Cleveland Browns last season, 7-8-1, Baker Mayfield, Freddie Kitchens, oh my goodness. Now listen, we don't want the results that the Cleveland Browns had, or the 49ers for that matter, right? But my goodness, I say this, prepare yourself, because there's going to be a lot of talk about the Arizona Cardinals this offseason.
You know, September really was August. Kliff Kingsbury admitted on this show that the first month of the regular season was the preseason. He had to learn his personnel. They had to get the system going. And I think they've also learned, you know what? They're a balanced offense. That's the identity, the run game, and then the defense seemingly has figured it out the last couple of weeks.
Paul, they dressed 4 tight ends in the last game. Enough said right there. That is Exhibit A when you talk about the evolution of this offense. And again, going back to the defense has played really, really well the last 3 games. Going back to the Steelers game, go back and look at them. They only gave up 16 points in that game, right? They've played well. Can they finish strong? That's my question. But once again, if they do somehow, some way beat the Rams to win their last 3, get ready for a lot of Cardinal talk in the offseason.
And then think about it, no change in the offseason. It's the same coaches, the same schemes. Then you know what? This last month of the season, you're not just wrapping up. It becomes a launching pad.
Coach Kingsbury's final thoughts on finishing the season strong when we return to Cardinals Game Plan. Cardinals Game Plan has been brought to you by Dignity Health, Hello Human Kindness, and by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM.
All right, Cardinals wrapping up the season, going to L.A., and of course that means Wolf, Sean McVay.
Coach, the Sean McVay comparisons, are you tired of these?
No, it's with how he's started in the league. I mean, it's an honor, honestly. He's been wildly successful, does a tremendous job, great person. So, you know, you got to take that as a compliment.
What do you think you've grown the most? You know, Sean McVay entered as like 31 in the league. He was the youngest guy in quite some time. He admitted there was a learning curve in year 1. What about you? What do you think you've learned the most about the NFL?
Just the level of consistency it takes. I mean, it's such a long season, and week in, week out, you're going to get a tremendous team coming in. The games are going to be close, and you really win these games by the slightest of margins. So consistency, week in and week out, approach, practice, the way you approach the games is huge.
And Coach, if you are going to win, what do you got to do well?
Yeah, we got to start fast. You know, we were down in that game 20-0, I think, before we even blinked, and we can't do that again. They're a tremendous team when they can pin their ears back and just rush the passer like they did that first game, and so we got to stay from being one-dimensional.
And if it ends up being Brett Hundley, how comfortable are you with Brett as your quarterback?
Yeah, I'd be excited to watch him play. I mean, he's athletic, can move around. He has a good feel for what we want to do. I think a week of getting all the reps and the preparation will really pay off for him.
Coach, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Cardinals Game Plan.